Okay, hello and welcome to all you little heroes at home watching, and anybody else for that matter, wherever you are around the world. I hope you're all smiling and happy, and if you're not, I guarantee you will be by the end of this activity because it's absolutely awesome. And what we're going to be doing today is an activity called Bottle Buddies, and it's got a few different steps. So we will be getting a bottle and filling it with coloured salts and a time capsule memory, as well as decorating it with arts and crafts and giving it a name, because you can't have a buddy without a name, can you? And the reason why we're doing this is because, well, it's going to be heaps of fun, isn't it? But also because we want to see that if we put in time and effort, we can build something awesome, beautiful and lasting through appreciating our memories. And that's really important in building relationships, and we're all about that here at Reuben Cullen Kids. So without further ado, let's get stuck into it. So here, what you're going to do first is you've got to find a bottle. Now, I've got this one, which is a glass bottle that we got recycling off a job that I did with my friend recently. So that's a pretty good thing to be able to recycle. So I've got my bottle, and then it doesn't matter if it has a lid, because I'm going to show you how to make one anyway if you don't have one. So that's fine. So after that, what we're going to do is, and I did this previously just to save a bit of time for you watching at home, but we're going to work out how much salt we need for our bottle. And what we do is, all we need to do is we grab our funnel, and if you don't have a funnel at home or you don't want to buy one, you can always make one out of paper just like that. So that's pretty easy too if you don't have one. Now, we just fill our bottles up to the neck of it there, and that'll tell us how much salt we need. And it doesn't matter if you've got any excess, because we can use it at the end for artwork, putting some glue on paper and then sprinkling the coloured salt and making really cool, awesome artwork. So that's fine if you've got too much. So what we do is, after we've worked out how much salt we need, then we're got to decide how many colours we want to make. And that is all completely up to you. I love colour, and as many colours as I can make. And so don't you be shy, you little heroes at home. So all you do is, with the salt you've got in your bottle, you pour it out into some containers that you'll use to make up your colours. And that will have however many colours you want to make up is how many you'll need. So on to the next part, which is colouring our salt. Now, we've got three different methods. We've got a way that we're going to use Faber-Castell connector pens, the colour out of them, or we're going to use some food dye for one, or some chalk. Now, I'll just show you the first one. We'll just put some gloves on for this one, because it'll make a mess of our hands, and we don't want to do that, do we? So some gloves go on, just like so, and we'll get stuck into colouring it in. Now, this is what I'm going to be filling my bottle up with later, so you're going to see how awesome it looks. And I just popped that off using my pliers earlier. Your dad or mum at home can help you along with this. We get the colour out, and all we do is we put it into the bowl like that. And you can see it all just dropping out there, which is really cool. Squeeze as much out as you can there. You can see it's making a mess on my hands already, but there's nothing wrong with a bit of mess when you're having a bit of fun. So we've got our colour out of there. Whoops, I got some on my hands. Doesn't matter. We'll just put that off to the side for the moment. Now we've got our colour in there, and all we want to do is just start stirring that up, because it brings the colour into all the salt, and we'll start spreading it around. You can see that there, it's starting to turn a beautiful, nice orangey colour. You can see that. It's pretty awesome. And what we do is we just stir it up and let it sit there. Make sure you get all the salt too, because you don't want to be left over with any white stuff, because you want it to go the colour that we're trying to make it. So you can see it's gone a beautiful orange colour that we used an orange Faber-Castell connector pen in there. They don't have chemicals in them, so they're pretty good to use. Well, I hope they don't anyway. So we use that, and our gloves, we've got that one there. So that's how we do the texture method. Our next one that we could do, our second way that we can colour our salt, is just by getting some food dye, and we just go like this, like so. Now this should come a bit of a yellow colour. I think this is what I grabbed. Now just with these, with using the texture and the food dye, the colour can bleed a little bit. So you want to just do it in some containers that you can either wash or you don't mind throwing out, because you don't want to spoil anything that you've got which it might stain. But it should all wash out pretty good. I used some different kinds of containers. I'm using these ones now. So you can see just there it's going yellow. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? So you can use any colour food dye again. Really depends on what you want to make up. And again, because the colour's going to bleed a little bit, with these two methods you want to allow a bit of dry time so as it can dry. Now what I mean by that is that the colour will have a, I don't know if you can see that at home, there's a little bit of colour there on the spoon. So when I say dry time, I let those two methods sit overnight, but you can also just grab it and pinch it, and if it's running on your hands, then maybe just wait until you use it, and wait until it's dry, until you fill your bottle. So that's them two methods. Or we've got the chalk method, and the chalk method's a little bit different because we're going to roll it instead. And when I say roll it, you'll see what I mean. And also it's a little bit different too, because the chalks don't, the texture and the dyes, they create a bit of a vibrant colour. And this method will give you a more pastel kind of a look. So it really depends on what you want to do at home and what you want to get out of it. Now as you can see, you just roll your chalk on there like that. And we roll and roll and roll. And your chalk starts to rub off into the salt. So you rub as much on as there as you want. Oh, it's getting a little bit messy. It's alright. And you can use paper to do this as well. I've got baking paper here, but it really just depends on what you want to do. So we continue to just roll that and make up. So we're rolling. Now, with my bottle that I did before this, you'll notice that I used chalk to fill my bottle. So you'll see what I mean when I mean it'll be more pastel-y to look at. So after that, you would just pour it in there, and you just roll as much chalk into it until you get the desired colour you want. Just do that, and we can move that on. So over here, we don't need that anymore. And then again, you just want to give it a bit of a stir up. And I don't know if you can see that there at home, but that's giving that salt a nice kind of a pastel kind of a colour. That sort of a colour there, which is a little bit different to the textures. All right, so we've let our two methods there with the texture or the food dye dry. Or we're finished doing our chalk and we're ready to fill our bottle. So this is going to be the fun bit. Okay, so what we do is first, before we're going to put our coloured salt in, is we're going to do a time capsule. Now, what a time capsule is we're going to write down a memory now, because in 12 months' time, we're going to pour out our bottles and we're going to just look at our memory and reflect on it. So just to think about something special, whatever it is that you want to write on it. It'd be a memory that's fond or dear to you, or something that means something to you. Or it could be something like what your height is. You might be growing a bit at the moment. You could write down what is your height at the moment, and then what is it going to be in 12 months' time once you have let it sit for 12 months. So, or even another idea, you could put on a spelling word. You might be able to spell something with 6 letters at the moment, but in 12 months' time, you could see it might be 10 letters, so you can see how much you've learned. So it really depends on you, whatever you want to do, but it's going to be fun. So whatever I decided to put, being part of running an awesome event last year called the Enchanted Garden with my best mate. I thought that was a pretty awesome memory to write down. You might want to do something similar, that you've had a good memory with a friend or something like that. But whatever it is, we're going to roll that up. It's kind of starting to look a little bit like it's a pirate's. I don't know if you watch SpongeBob, but the Krabby Patty, he has that stored in a bottle like that too, the special ingredients. So now we've got our time capsule in there, our memory, we're ready to fill it up. So this is the exciting bit. Are you ready? Okay, so we grab our funnel, and next we're just going to fill it up, and we want to make these look as wild as we possibly can. So we'll just fill it up like that. There's some in there. And the trick to this is, if you give it a bit of a swirl around as you're doing it, it can make the salt go in really awesome kind of patterns. So I'll show you what I mean. There's some pink in there. We've got pink and green. What have we got so far? We can see our green there at the bottom. Maybe I'll put a little bit more pink, eh? Okay, so let's have a look at that. That's looking pretty cool. What about yellow next? Bit of yellow. So don't be shy adding as many different colours as you want, because the more colour, the more awesome it's going to look. What I mean is, you can see those patterns there that are starting to be created in there, but you can just give them a bit of a swish around like that, and it can change them and make it look kind of different as well, which is really awesome. So I'll continue on my merry way doing this. Let's put some blue in there, nice blue in there. You see those colours are pretty vibrant, aren't they? They're pretty bright, which is really nice. And like I said, you'll see it again when I show you my other one that I made, what the difference is with the chalk. So we've got some red now. Let's put some red. That's looking pretty good now, isn't it? Now let's give it a bit of a swish around again. Like that. Okay, how about some purple? Gosh, this is starting to look really good, isn't it? So colourful. Alright, now I'm going to add some more pink up the top there. And then I might finish off with green, like I started with. Green's a pretty cool colour, isn't it? So we've filled up. Oh, I might even get another colour in there. Jeez, I've done pretty well, haven't I? Yep, I might get another colour in there. So what should I choose? Maybe yellow, eh? Yellow look nice, be a nice finish on the green. So you can see we've just got it right up to the top there. Give it a bit of a shake. And it's filled right up to the neck there, and you can see that's looking pretty awesome there, isn't it? So colourful and really good looking there, I reckon. That's awesome. So what we're going to do now is, we've put our colours in. The next step is, because we don't want to knock over our bottle and spoil all the hard work that we've done, so you want to put your lid on next, if you've got a lid. But if you don't, that is okay, because I'm going to show you a couple of different other ways that you can do it. So you could use a cork. I used a cork on my last one, so I'm not going to use a cork this time. I'm going to use a bit of cloth, and you could use an elastic band, or what I'm going to use is a hair tie, because it's a bit more colourful, and we're all about colour. And you just want to put that on there, like so, and it has made our lid. Now you could use any colour cloth. I had some black stuff lying around, that's why I decided to use that. And if you have a look at that, that almost looks like a bit of a hat that this bottle's got on, doesn't it? So just like that, we have our bottle that's filled up with all the colourful salts. It's got a cap on it with what looks like a pretty awesome hat to me. So the next step we're going to move on to is decorating it. Okay, so when I say decorating, anything you like can go on this. I've got some fluff ball things here. I don't even know what they are. They're pretty fun though. Feathers, which are cool. I've got gemstones. I've got car stickers, I've got normal stickers, some pets on there, there's some dogs and cats on there, pipe cleaners, whatever you like, you name it. And you know what the rule is here at Reuben Cullen Kids? There are no limitations to our imaginations. So, we've got all that stuff. Paper you can use to cut up things and put it on. Some stamps. So, what we're going to do is, I already stuck some stuff on earlier so I could save some time with yous. But first off, we're going to put some googly eyes on it. And decorate up and start bringing this to life. Now, the googly eyes I'm going to just stick these on with glue. Now, a trick that I learned was to use the glue. When you use the glue, just lay it down flat so it doesn't run. And also, just don't put too much on because you don't want that to run anywhere. So, and you don't want it to squash out and start to wreck your bottle buddy and having to give it a clean. So, we just give it a nice little amount there. Put the lid on that too so it doesn't dry out. So, we have our eyes on our bottle buddy. Now, next step, while he's lying flat, we might do the face. So I might put a smile on it. And you really can do anything with these bottle buddies. You might like to theme it as your favourite sports team, or you might like to maybe theme it your country colours from wherever you're from. You might like to maybe set it up like a sensei, a kung fu sensei with a black belt. You could get a ribbon and put it around and make it look like a kung fu sensei. Or, since it looks like it's got a hat on already, you could even decide to put, make it a cowboy or cowgirl. Well, there's the other one, which I thought might be pretty funny, which would be, you could, we'll give it some eyebrows here too, you could decide that you want to make it like someone who exists in the world today. Like Andre Bocelli, who's an Italian singer, could become Andre Botticelli. That's pretty good. Or, if you're a Collingwood Magpie supporter, Steel Sidebottom could become Steel Sidebottle. So you really can do anything. It's anything you can do, whatever you like. Now, we can see I've got the googly eyes on there. Whoops, that's starting to run. We want those just to sit on there. Hopefully that'll start to sit. Hang on, let's have a look. So, while we're waiting for that to just dry, what we'll do is, you can use Velcro dots and clear double-sided tape. Use the clear stuff, not the white foam, because if you use the clear and the thin stuff, then you're going to be able to still have a good look at what's going on in your bottle. It's not going to get into the way and interfere with all the beautiful work that you've done inside. So I used some Velcro dots, one side on there, and then I made this earlier, and that's just a little arm with some stamps on it that say good, awesome, terrific, wonderful day. So I'm going to just stick one on there, like that. Oops, I'll just grab that. Oh, goodness me. All right, and I've got another one here. Now, these things I just cut out of paper, I just made some shapes. So I did whatever I like, whatever came to mind. And like I said, no limitations to the imagination, is there, everybody at home, all you little heroes? Okay, and then next, how about we get some pipe cleaners, some coloured pipe cleaners. I've got some double-sided tape that I put on that side there. So I'll just stick those on, which are pretty cool. Put the second one on, just like so. And next, I'll just pop a nose on there, just like that. So it's starting to look pretty good here. I hope this eyeball dries off. Oh good, that eye's starting to dry. Okay, hopefully we can just keep drying because we want to get this up and running. Now, all we've got left to do now is, since we've decorated this bottle buddy and made it look so awesome, Have a look at that. How awesome does that look? That eye's going to run down a bit, but that's okay. You're just going to make sure you give it some more dry time at home, which is fine. Now, the last step is we're going to give our bottle a name, because you can't have a buddy without a name, can you? That's what makes them so special. So, we can either use a black marker for that. Oh, it's running a bit much here. We can either use a black marker for that, or some letters, some sticker letters that you've got. And I think what's the name I'm going to give this? I might call this bottle Desmond, because Desmond sounds like he'd be a pretty good friend, wouldn't he? So I would just write Desmond on the back. And you can see just there, Desmond. Now my bottle's got a name. How awesome is that? And I'm going to give my bottle here. Oh, it's running a bit that way. That doesn't matter. You just make sure you give your one time at home to sit so you can finish it up without it running. Also, if you're going to use paint markers and stuff like that and paints to decorate your bottle, just remember that when you put your hands on it to make sure you let it dry, because otherwise it's going to smudge. And we don't want to spoil all this awesome work that we're putting into our bottle. So, lastly, I'm going to give mine a cape, because to keep it in line with my book that I've written about called A Hero Born, about being your own hero. So this bottle is also a hero with a droopy eye, each eye slipping down. That doesn't matter. But as you can see, now we're finished, and what was once a bottle is now a bottle buddy. So how cool is that? And then also, look, if I decide in 12 months' time when we empty these out to have a look at our memory that we put on, if over that 12 months I decide I want to change things up a bit with it, if I've used the Velcro dots, I can just go like that and change it. Look at that. As simple as that. Now it's got something different on it. So we've had heaps of fun making our bottle buddy. We've coloured the salts, we've filled it up, we've made it look amazing with all the decorations we've put on it. And we've got our memory in there that we're going to reflect on when we pour it out in 12 months' time. And if you really think about it, it's kind of like when you make a real buddy or friend. You put in time and effort to build your friendship and relationship, put in a lot of love, and you make memories together and you share them along the way in your friendship as time goes by. And I reckon that's what real friendship's all about, and that's what makes relationships beautiful. So, how's that for a bottle buddy? This is awesome. I hope everyone's going to have fun at home doing this. I reckon you will. So, all we've got left is, remember that the description for this activity is going to be below in the post or on the website. And anyone who wants to share ideas or comments or wants to share photos of their bottle buddies, their awesome bottle buddies that they got at home, just remember to tag Reuben Cullen Kids and tag Bottle Buddy as well, because hopefully we can see as many of these up as we possibly can, because they're so awesome. And also give us a like and a follow and share on the activity, because every little bit helps in getting it out to the greater community that we've got. And also it just makes it a lot easier for people to see what we're doing and how much fun we're having here at Reuben Cullen Kids and what we're doing, which is awesome. So everybody, I hope you've had a fantastic time, and I hope to see some awesome bottle buddies and see some awesome memories made. Have a good time, everybody. I can't wait to see you next time. See you later! Oh, also, sorry, I forgot. I'm going to come back. I forgot to show you my other one. Now, this one is called Blenson, which is the one filled with chalk. So you can see that it's got a bit more of a pastel-y colour. Blenson and Desmond look like they would be pretty good friends, I reckon, don't you think? So you can see that. I reckon they could make good buddies, I think. So, and this one was the one that I used the cork for. And I gave him some dreadlocks and everything. So he's looking pretty awesome. I reckon they might have a good time together, these two. All right, now, second time going. I'll see you later.